never talked about this on my channel. I almost had drink that cranberry juice, drink that pineapple juice. Hello besties, welcome back to another TMI Girl Talk video where I answer the juicy questions you guys sent in that you're too afraid to ask your mom or your friends. I feel like I've been doing this for so long that you guys are getting really bold with your questions because some of the questions, don't get me wrong, I love it because these conversations are so important to have, which is why I am here to answer all of them and have these conversations with you all. Before we get on to the video, don't forget to subscribe and make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms for more girl advice. And yeah, the first question is, how do you know if a tampon is too far in or not? Most tampons, actually, let me get a tampon out so we can demonstrate, live demonstration here.
A few moments later.
Ugh. Every tampon usually has a string like this, which I feel like is easy to know if it's too far in or not, because if the string is gone, then it's probably too far in. You just kind of like push it in and then push it up. I feel like you kind of want it to be really in there so it absorbs all the blood. And then you have like the string. You really should only be seeing the string so you can pull it out like that. But I think what most girls have an issue is not putting it in far enough. And you will know because it hurts. You really shouldn't feel your tampon. When you put it in far enough, it's like sitting up there and it's just chilling, right? But if it's not far in enough, like let's say it's kind of just halfway in like this, it's gonna feel discomfortable because it's gonna feel uncomfortable when it's not far in enough because you can like literally feel it and it feels like something is like almost in there, but it's not really in there. Does that make sense? So you wanna make sure you're putting it in pretty deep like that. The next question is, why is there a yellow stain on my underwear after you wear it?
Huh?
Okay, the yellow stain might be pee. I'm assuming the yellow stain is your pee. However, it could be discharge because we are known to have discharge stains. It's very normal, especially if you're in your ovulation phase. However, if you feel like that yellow stain is your discharge, that might mean that you need to go get it checked out because it should not be yellow. For the most part, it should be clear, transparent. Usually it might be a little crust up because it's dried out, but if you feel like it's yellow and thick, then that might be a problem. And if it smells not the best either, that might be an issue too that you should go get checked out. That might be an infection. The next question is, how do I clean down there so it smells good? I feel like your goal shouldn't be to make it smell like butterflies and rainbows because that's just like really unnatural, but your goal should be to make sure that the odor and like the stench is not strong and it just kind of smells like nothing. I used to wash my kitty all the time and I learned that you're not supposed to. You're only supposed to wash around it. You're not supposed to actually wash it like that because it's very easy to get BV, and I would know this because I've gotten BV, which is when the pH levels of your kitty are very off, and that could be caused by putting too many products down there. A lot of girls will use wipes or specific type of washes for down there so it smells good. However, I just really don't trust those things, and if you get it infected because you're putting too much products down there, that probably will lead to more infection and lead to actually it stinking up the whole room. And we don't want that. I use an Aveeno body wash. I love Aveeno because it's very good for sensitive skin. There's no fragrance, and I use it to wash around that area. Typically, I just kind of splash water on the actual kitty itself, but you really shouldn't have to wash it because it is a self-cleaning part of your body. But I know some of us struggle with it smelling maybe a little bit too fishy, which totally I understand. And that truly has a lot to do with your diet. Make sure you are eating those whole foods. Make sure you are getting enough water. Water is so important. I know everyone's like, drink that cranberry juice, drink that pineapple juice, but water is the #1 thing you should be drinking. And I also make sure I eat fruit, I eat vegetables. Just keep your diet clean because trust me, when you don't, you can smell it and you can taste it. Will my boyfriend be grossed out if I don't shave down there? He should not be. I mean, everybody has their preference, right? But I feel like if that is something that truly bothers someone,
What the hell is even that?
I don't know, I don't want you in my life. Like, you're really gonna be grossed out by hair, a little bit of hair. Seriously, like grow up. If you want to keep the kitty clean, hairless, that should be for you and not for someone else. The only reason why now I shave my kitty and make sure there's no hair there is for me. I do not shave it for a man, okay? Because deal with it. So how can I remove body and facial hair? For facial hair, I have done so many different things. I've waxed it, I've threaded it, I have tweezed it. I do not recommend tweezing it unless you are a soldier because it is so painful. If you struggle with like your skin being super sensitive, then maybe waxing and threading is not for you. Threading probably makes it like the cleanest for me, but because my skin is so sensitive, I don't like to do it all the time. I will use a razor and kind of like shave it down, which is probably the easiest and best way to do it. And for my body hair, like I've talked about in my other TMI Girl Talks, I always go to European Wax Center to get waxed. Sometimes I'll do a full body wax. Sometimes I'll only do my bikini line. It really depends. I personally like waxing just because it lets your hair be gone for like a month and you only have to do it once a month, rather than like when I shave, I have to shave like twice a week, guys. My hair grows out fast and I don't like doing that. Okay, now we're gonna be talking about the dirty time. What is the appropriate age to lose your V card? You do it when you wanna do it, but I think a lot of people focus a lot about the activity of having sex and it's like, ooh. When I lost my V card, I didn't really think anything of it. I just kind of was like, okay, that happened. But people don't really talk about the responsibility that you have to take on once you lose your V card. For example, going to a gynecologist. No matter what age you are, when you lose your V card, when you have sex for the first time, you need to be going to a gynecologist. Having sex increases your chances for having infections, STDs, and I did not know this. When I finally went years later, I had such a huge scare, which if you've been following me, then you know about this. I had HPV, I had BV, I almost had cancer. You also have to get an STD test sometimes. Worry about getting condoms, worry about birth control if that's something you wanna do. You also have to think about, on the off chance that you get pregnant, what am I gonna do? What is my plan? Do I have a system around me who's able to support me during this? Am I going to be okay to handle this? You're put in a position where you don't know what to do. I've never talked about this on my channel. I've had a pregnancy scare when I was in college. When I had that pregnancy scare, I didn't really have anybody to talk to about it. And thank God I wasn't pregnant, but if I were, it would have been a really stressful time, let me tell you. Obviously, the act of having sex, it's important because your body is valuable, your body is precious, but you really have to think about the responsibilities afterwards. Not to sound like a mom here, but it is a lot of responsibility. And if you don't feel like you have the ability to take on that responsibility of actually taking care of your health, then don't do it, put it off. So in terms of losing your virginity, what is that like? Is it awkward and does it hurt? I remember my first time was super awkward. I really didn't know what to do. The person I had sex with for the first time was very experienced. I didn't have that dynamic where like both of us were awkward, but for me, I felt really awkward. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be weird. You're not gonna know what to do. You're not gonna know what techniques, what skills, what to hold. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get. And does it hurt? That varies for everyone. Just like when you get a gynecologist or you're wearing a tampon for the first time, for some people, they experience the pain level differently than others. For me, I did not feel any pain my first time because it went by so fast. I think I had such like an adrenaline rush that it was happening that I didn't feel anything. But there have been times after that where it has hurt, or like if I hadn't had sex in a while and I have sex again, it will hurt a little bit. Like I said, it varies for everyone. I have friends who have had sex and it hurts really bad for them. And that has something to do with, I guess, like where your cervix is. If it's like excruciating pain for you, maybe that's something you need to go get checked out. And also, you should tell your partner if it hurts. It should be like an overall enjoyable experience for you. So if you feel like it's a little bit painful, you gotta make sure you communicate that. This is a very juicy question. How deep is too deep? That is another thing that varies for every person. I guess the only thing I can really say about that is that there are different positions which allows it to get deeper. What do I think about hookup culture? I think it is what you make of it. I definitely had my phase of hookup culture when I was single and I was living in New York and I was in college. I realized that I was not really benefiting from it. I was not really happy doing it either. For me, I feel like I was constantly chasing this need for intimacy and validation, not because I actually like wanted to hook up, but just because I felt very lonely. After that realization, I stopped hooking up with people because I was like, this is just making me even more sad. But for some people love hooking up. Some people think it's a way to just get that out of their system and not take things serious because they don't want to look for anything serious. To each their own. I don't really think it's a bad thing, especially when you're single. Like, go have fun. Okay, the next question is, when I first entered college, I thought I would get a boyfriend, but I'm in my 3rd year and I'm still single. What do I do? I totally get this. I feel like when you go to college, you just have this idea that you're going to meet the love of your life, or you're going to be in so many relationships because there's so many people in college. But the reality is that might not happen, and that's okay. The person will come when they come. When someone is meant for you, they will be put into your life. I don't think you should put pressure on yourself about you have to be in a relationship at this age. Not everybody is living the same life, so you're not gonna be at the same pace as everyone else. So you might be seeing all these other people get into relationships while they're in college, but that doesn't mean that's gonna be the case for everybody. Right now, the universe is saying, hey, we're cooking something up for you. So just be patient. Rather than like spending your single era wondering when is this person gonna come into my life, chasing this idea of being in a relationship, I want you to just really love you. I think being single when you're in college is honestly such a great thing. And I know it might not feel like it, especially during cuffing season, you get a little bit lonely. But trust me, like, it is such a blessing to have so much time and energy and love for yourself. Any advice for the girls starting college? For me, when I was in college, I feel like I probably made the worst decisions of my life. I made the craziest mistakes. I dated the worst guys. Take the time to think about the decisions you make, but also just know that, yeah, this is gonna be a time where you make mistakes and just learn from them. All these experiences, maybe all the bad friendships you make, maybe all the bad guys that you date, you're gonna learn from it. Do not settle in these bad behaviors. Do not settle with toxic people. They are there to help you learn, but they are not there to be the foundations of your life and who you have in your life. There's so much things that happen in college, but appreciate the time that you have in college. Build those memories. Definitely prioritize the types of friends you're making and building those good relationships, because a lot of those friends could be your friends for the rest of your life. That's the amazing thing about college, is you're put into this one place with a bunch of different people, and you guys just like can all hang out all day, every day. And you don't really get that when you graduate. Now it's so hard for me to see friends because we're all just so busy. We're all doing our own things. Obviously, study, do your best, but also make those memories, hang out with friends, build those friendships. Final question is, how do I politely tell a friend that they are in the wrong? I am not the best at this either, but I'm trying to get better. I'm gonna tell you guys what I've been trying to do. When you want to bring something up, rather than accusing someone of something, talk about how you feel. This makes me feel like this. And then you open up the conversation to them. Like, how do you feel about this? Then it's kind of like you guys are in equal playing fields, rather than one person is like, well, I hate that you do this and I don't like that you do this. Because obviously if someone's gonna tell you that, you're gonna be like, whoa,
Daddy, chill.
Dang, I didn't know you hated me like that, right? It's just all about respect, and it's just all about trying to hear each other out. It's so much better to say how you feel than keep it bottled up inside, because that just creates resentment and grows distance in your friendship, and we don't want that. And if it's a good friend, and if it's someone who truly cares about you, they will take in consideration of how you feel and also vocalize how they feel, and then you guys will both try to find a way to come to a compromise, come to a solution. And that's how you build a good friendship. Okay, but I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Thank you all so much for watching. Comment and let me know what other girl talks I should do. I'm open to anything, and I'm open to hearing all of your questions, so let me know what you guys want me to talk about next. I will see you guys next Saturday. Bye!